You're like a son to me. All due respect to my son here, don't disappoint me.
When I hire somebody for a job, I hire the best guy there is for the job. And that's why all these years we've been hiring you. Ain't nobody better than Joey Doyle, right? Am I right?
If you say so, yeah.
I'm SARI Cohen with Hollywood First Look Features, and joining me right now is the writer and director of the movie Flinch, Cameron Van Hoy. I absolutely love this movie, and I think it's so inspired because it's not a typical Hitman movie. It's sort of a love story. So how did that happen?
I'm a big fan of the romantic crime genre. I think in a way, romance and crime can go well together.
I spoke with Cameron earlier. It's fantastic. You are the most lovable hitman I have ever seen on screen.
Thank you. That's a compliment. I'll take it.
So is that something that you kind of decided when you were reading the script, or did your character kind of form as you were shooting?
It was actually, yeah, it was something that we both kind of decided because one of the things that really attracted me to the film was the relationship between Doyle and his mom, which is a really kind of weird dependent, they both depend on each other, and it's one of those relationships that he probably has to move out of the house. He's old enough now, and so it was kind of cool to kind of jump into that and be a mama's boy in many ways. He's taking care of mom and taking care of kind of like all the stuff that dad left behind and that he has to kind of own up to. So I think in many ways he's doing the gig because he's good at with the guns and stuff, but it's not something that he particularly wants to be invested in, or that's not what he sees himself doing. So it was kind of cool to play somebody who is a hitman and has to go and get the guys and all that, but we're not playing that. We're playing kind of against that, and so that was something that attracted me, and Cam and I had talked about it a lot before we started shooting. So yeah, we bonded on that a lot.
I won't say anything.
Are you trying to tell me that girl in there is a witness?
We need to find this girl ASAP. If not, then maybe I got a couple more loose ends to tie up.
I do want to talk about piecing the cast together because, you had players like David Proval, who is from The Sopranos, and Cathy, Moriarty, who you would expect to see in a movie like this. Tom Segura was a shocking choice for me to see on screen in this role. What was it like casting this film?
Yeah, Tom, for that role, you need like a tough guy, and it was one of the last roles that we were casting, and I said to my casting director, I was like, let's get a comedian, because I love when comedians come into films and do something that's a bit unexpected. And she came back with Tom. She was like, Tom Segura, and we went to him, and he agreed to do it.
The day that I did a scene with him, he took me to the hospital. So because we literally we were doing the scene, and Tom's a big guy. He's like 6'1", 6'2". He played football back in the day, and I was kind of skinny back then as well for the character, and I was like, bro, you gotta pin me, and he pinned me through a door. And so I like flew, and like I hit my head, and like I had like a concussion, and like I was full of blood in that scene. I don't know if you remember, but I had to go to the hospital, and like obviously when I went into the hospital, I was like, yo, it's fake. And they're like, what do you mean it's fake? And I was like, it's not real, it's like fake blood. And they're like, no, what do you mean? And so they thought I was drunk and high or whatever.
She's moving around in there.
Living things move, Ma.
Dead things don't.
Cathy she was a mom. She still is a mom. She's such a brilliant actress, so natural. The amount of cigarettes that we smoked were a lot. And just the young talent, the Tilda and Buddy Duress, they're just so talented, and just the cool thing about this project was that it was small, right? It's a small movie. Not a big budget. People are doing it because we love the script, we love Cameron, we love his vision, and that's what we were there for. It was hot days, long days, but it's whatever, however many hours the sun gave us, we were there.
Look, it was just a quick gig, Ma.
What kind of gig?
I love how this movie had a gritty 80s vibe to it. Did you purposely go that route?
I did. I call it like a late 80s, early 90s vibe. But for sure, it's there. I love that era of film. And this story, you know, I was very inspired by a lot of films from the 90s, a lot of crime films from the 90s, as well as a lot of crime films from the 40s. But the 90s has a big, you know, has like a big place in my heart cinematically. And I love the music, this like synthwave type music that we use, which, you know, applies to the vibe.
And I think the music as well, you know, that component of Miami Nights and Cam's vision with that, it's kind of spooky, and you know, it gives it a vibe for sure.
Yes, a gritty 80s vibe is what I said. It's so cool.
And it's also the same kind of quality of, and that's, you know, Cam loves movies. He makes me feel like I don't know anything about film, because he knows, you know, Korean film, Japanese films, Chinese film, anything, European, like he just knows it all. And he's so obsessed with it that he loves that like era and like that quality of like character driven dramas that we don't really see as much anymore. You know, we see more of the bang, bang, bang and the shootouts and all that, which is cool. I'm a fan of that. But this one kind of focuses, like you said, that 80s kind of vibe, which is awesome.
I want people to walk away with like a little burning in their heart, like good passion, like wake them up a little bit and get some passion back in there, get them and rough them up a little bit, you know, make people leave with like a visceral, guttural, like war cry of love, like, you know, like I'm alive. That's really what I want people to walk away with.
This is such an awesome movie, and you did such an awesome job. You are my new favorite hitman. Everybody make sure you go check out Flinch. It's available now. I'm SARI Cohen. See you next time.
Problem, Joey Doyle. This girl just goes missing. Poof, gone.
Innocent.
They don't do this now!
Or maybe simply she's beautiful and bold and impossible to navigate. And she comes with all the warnings of a premium item wrapped up in a bow like the devil himself.